Guys, una no safe me and say I never bring and come. I not go feel sleep. So, wetin we never even think of before. I don't even know say day like this go come wey be say article, Peter Obi and many others would they plan ahead to go wait for Baba. Una know the person we they talk about now. In 2027. Does that mean that have they lost hope of gaining back the old power? Or are they no longer having trust in the courts that everything is going to take place like the way we are hoping? Guys, please, you know I love your comments and I like your opinion a lot. I want you to see this because the thing is not clear to me. I'm still very, very much confused.
Elections maybe in 2027 or following the ruling of the petition or the presidential tribunal. But I think first off, what had followed that, of course, was people trying to figure out, okay, who is going to be president, who is going to be vice president, who is going to be chairman of the party. People try to understand that, is it possible to see all these parties come together to be able to try and go against the ruling party? But Peter Obi has come out to refute these claims. Just 2 days ago, he said half of the things that you are hearing are rumors. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party did say that all the reports that have been making the rounds, and he made this statement at a mega rally in Edo State ahead of the local government elections in the state. And he told hundreds of party supporters that some of the things that we've been hearing are rumors. He said Labour Party will continue to grow. They will continue to grow stronger and better, and that he is committed to building a better and new Nigeria where Nigeria will move from consumption to production. I'm wondering where these rumors might have come from. Is it wishful thinking? Is it Nigerians trying to, I don't know, make sense of, or in readiness for the judgment that we've all been waiting for from the presidential tribunal? It would have been a very interesting thing to see these three very different men, especially when it comes to how they ran their campaigns last year and even into this year, come together. But like I've said, Peter Obi has come out to dispel the rumors, and I think this might be a good place to let the rumors just die down and go, as it were.
I mean, no rumor totally dies down in politics. You know, there will always be a reason to speculate, and of course, there's a fertile ground for this sort of speculation for two reasons that you have mentioned. One is the likelihood of a runoff or a rerun, depending on what which clearly might have given them, if they had come under one umbrella, say of the PDP, to which they all belonged. What they failed to do at that time, what is the guarantee that it will be done this time around? You couldn't have failed to stop a man who knows his political onions, a man like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and then think that it will be easy to have him dislodged when he's already consolidating. What will be the basis for a runoff? Will it be because of the contentious issue of the FCT, the winner, and the second person not scoring out 25% in Abuja, and the only gentleman who scored 25%, which is Peter Obi of Labour Party, came third. You know, it's a bit dicey. We will have to wait for the tribunal and ultimately the Supreme Court to make a decision. If that happens, it means that if there is a runoff, most likely it will be between two parties. And we have been hearing from the lawyers of the ruling party and of President Tinubu saying that if there will be a runoff, let it be between the first and the second, Asiwaju and Atiku Abubakar. What role, therefore, will Peter Obi and Kwankwanso play, other than to say that for Labour or Peter Obi, given what I did in Lagos, given what I did in most of the Southeast and the South, we can bring that on board. And Kwankwanso can say that, you know, we have Kano lockdown and a bit of Jigawa here and there. We can galvanize. But what will be the basis? What will be the promise? There won't be any opportunity to change the running mate, at least for a rerun or a runoff, where you have the former governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, as a running mate to Atiku Abubakar. But of course, Asiwaju knows the game. He knows what is happening, which is why, again, apart from the meeting that they had in May in France, Asiwaju again has met with Kwakwanso. Went to visit him. There were talks about the fact that he might be a minister. He didn't become a minister, but now that this is coming, Asiwaju has met with him again. I don't think that he will sit down, fold his hand, and allow these three gentlemen together. But it will be, given the fact that pull all the votes that they had together, it will look on paper, that they have more people. But then, haven't things changed? Will it be like that if there's a rerun? Time will tell.
Definitely tell.
All right, we proceed. West Africa's main regional bloc, ECOWAS, has rejected a proposal by Niger's military junta to hold elections within 3 years, extending a political impasse that could trigger a military intervention if no agreement is reached following a July coup. ECOWAS and other international powers have been seeking diplomatic solutions to the July 26 push in Niger, the 7th in West and Central Africa in 3 years. But after several attempts for dialogue were rejected, the bloc, which has taken a harder stance on Niger than its junta-led neighbors, activated a regional force that military heads have said is ready to deploy if talks fail. It doubled down on its threat on Friday, one day before the junta eventually agreed to meet an ECOWAS delegation in the capital, Niamey, suggesting new willingness to cooperate. In a televised address to the nation on Saturday evening, junta leader General Abdurrahman Tchiani said coup leaders remain open to dialogue, but he also said the junta will consult on its transition back to democracy within 3 years, echoing lengthy timelines proposed by other coup leaders in the region. ECOWAS Commissioner Abdel Fattah Musa told Reuters on Monday that the bloc's position remained clear. Interesting, but nothing new in what ECOWAS is saying. On the one hand, at least from the perspective of the chair of ECOWAS, our own president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, dialogue will continue for as long as is necessary, which is why he has again deployed another set of people, religious and spiritual leaders, to meet with the junta and to sell the idea, insist on selling the idea that it is constitutional order that must be restored. But we have also heard from Niger, and it looks to me like a government has been formed, a prime minister has been, appointed, regional governors have been appointed, and it looks like the entire country is being galvanized on a daily basis, even though when it's very obvious that they're struggling, there's no power, things are just not the way they ought to be. For how long can ECOWAS wait? Because Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave a hint, just I think yesterday or 2 days ago, to say that that it was the one that is even slowing down other members of ECOWAS, that all the other ones appear ready, to march on Niamey and march, on Niger. Would that be a brilliant idea, given how Mali and Burkina Faso, with of course Guinea on the other hand, how they are, preparing to defend Niger? For me, it won't be a walkover, even if we can see that there is a superior firepower from the ECOWAS bloc. But then I think the necessary thing has been done. Niger has been suspended from ECOWAS, from African Union, which ought to have been the first thing to do. And now, if you have suspended a member, are the ECOWAS protocols binding on a suspended member to say that you must return to democracy? Because none of the other three are members of ECOWAS anyway, but nobody is saying anything about going to dislodge Burkina Faso, going to dislodge the military in Guinea or in Mali. Why is Niger different? Economic considerations, pressure from certain quarters. all these debates are there in the open, but I think that ECOWAS really must tread carefully. And I think that Shiwaju, as the president of Nigeria and as the chairman of ECOWAS, should continue to play the role that he says is playing to ensure that war is not what we want to rush into. Because you can predict the beginning, but you may not be able to predict the end of a war.
You know, I'm going to just pick up from what you said, you know, being